Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Peter Van and
Peter Mallon, good afternoon.
And welcome to this very historic day, the Fitzroy Legends match here at Victoria Park. Fitzroy versus Collingwood this afternoon. And Pete, the umpies are coming out, and who do we have as our central umpire today?
It looks to be Ian Robertson there, Peter, coming out on the ground now. Ian Robertson, just the one umpire in charge of today's big match.
And of course, Ian, of course, well known to us, officiated at grand finals, and I'm sure he, along with his colleagues this afternoon, are going to enjoy the match just as much as we are all here today.
It promises to be a great afternoon, Peter. The crowd are moving in quite well. I'd estimate around about, the 5,000 mark at the moment, and they're streaming in as we speak.
And of course we've got the cheer squad out there ready to raise the banner, and perhaps we should mention at this stage, Peter, about our two coaches this afternoon, of course, legends in their own lifetime, as they say.
Certainly, of course, in Bill Stephen, the coach of the Fitzroy side, and of course he was the coach in that historic day in 1979 against Melbourne in that record scoring victory. And the Collingwood coach, Peter?
Des Tuddenham this afternoon, of course, who's looking after things. Actually, we've actually done a slight disservice there to Billy Stephen. Actually, we've got Kevin Murray actually as captain and coach today, but Billy Stephen's out there offering plenty of advice, I'd say, as well. And as you said, Des Tuddenham, of course, captain and coach of the Collingwood side this afternoon. And now the Fitzroy players coming out, and there's some familiar faces there, Peter. I see Warwick, Irwin. Who else do you see there?
Yes, Warwick, Irwin, number 34. Would that be Grant Lawrie? I'd say would be Grant Lawrie, Bernie Quinlan, Superboot on the left of the screen, Conlan, Micheal Poynton, number 17, as the team is about to run out on the ground.
And it's lovely to see all those familiar faces too. And I must say, Peter, looking at the general fitness of the fellas, most of them they're in pretty good nick. I think, dare I say, maybe a few of the boys that almost get a game now.
Indeed, so they look remarkably fit, really. Certainly notice the difference in the Guernseys over the years of Mickey Collins, number 12, compared with, say, number 20, which is Johnny Newnham, and there's another one there, Harvey Merigan, of course, wearing number 36.
Yes, as you say, Peter, the darker maroon as it was, and then of course it's lightened up and made to look a little more conspicuous, perhaps. I suppose, really, as we all remember, the change, of course, for colour television.
Indeed. Oh, there's Kevin Murray on the left-hand side with the white monogram.
And Muzzer looking fit as always. In fact, I think Kevin has just retired this year from playing in the Legends sides that exist around the Melbourne metropolitan area, and it's good to see Muzzer looking so fit and well, and having him there. And there's Leigh Murnane out there on the ground as well, and Les Salty Parish.
Les Parish, of course. I think he may be still involved in football in the country district.
Yes, I believe he's still playing, and of course Mickey Conlan still active in the association. In fact, pretty sure Mick's involved with Sandringham, as a matter of fact.
I know he was involved with the Zebras early on in the year, but I think because of business commitments he may no longer be involved with Sandringham.
But he certainly looks fit out there, Mick, as if he could kick a few ball bursters and get some of those goals through. Now here come the Collingwood boys out onto the ground.
Yes, Des Tuddenham will lead the team out onto the ground here at Victoria Park, which is in excellent condition. A pleasant afternoon of football assured. Here come the Magpies.
Now, looking at some of the names, of course, in the Collingwood side, of course, Peter, names that are very, very familiar with us, people that have played in finals for the mighty Magpies as well, and of course, names like Barry Price and Teddy Potter and Jerker Jenkin and others there that are out there this afternoon. It's just terrific, and I guess really that we should congratulate all the players, Peter, for giving up their time, and particularly our good friends at Collingwood. I think it certainly would be remiss of us not to thank President Allan McAllister at Collingwood for making Victoria Park available, and with his ground staff. And I think it's just great for Fitzroy and for football to think that our friends at Collingwood have got right behind us today.
Excellent. I certainly agree with those comments, Peter. Number 37 in the screen there, Allan.
And of course, there's a few players out there with grey hair now. Time is starting to march on, but as we've already said, Peter, really, it's quite amazing with a lot of the players for both Fitzroy and Collingwood. That there's still a lot of fit guys out there, and obviously a lot of these fellas, when they give away their professional commitments, they still like to keep fit.
I think, looking at the both sides as they ran out on the ground, I believe Fitzroy may be the fitter of the two sides.
Well, that's what we'll have to hope for this afternoon, this match, and as we're now just awaiting the players going through their preliminaries, working out a few muscle tiredness problems this afternoon by the looks of it, Peter, a few stretches and so on today. I'd suggest that at the end of the game today there'll be a few rather sore players who'll probably need a bit of a rub down in the rooms after the game.
Indeed. I'm wondering if there'll be any drop kicks displayed this afternoon. Of course, with some of the old timers of Kevin Murray and those type of players, we may even see 1 or 2 drop kicks here this afternoon at Victoria Park.
And looking at the ground today, of course, really it's in beautiful condition. But of course, we're in May. We haven't had the real winter rains yet descending on Melbourne, so it's certainly in great nick. And congratulations to all the ground staff at Victoria Park for having it in such pristine state for today's match.
Yes, now the players are lining up towards the centre of the ground, or actually having a kick at the moment. I think they may have their photos taken before this big battle this afternoon.
And there's Phil Manasseh. Phil is certainly looking very healthy. Looks as if he enjoys his meals, and but I'm sure he'll still be able to display that kick. I don't know whether he'll be able to make a run like he did in that famous grand final.
I doubt it very much. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they played at full back today.
Might make it a little easier on Phil this afternoon. So obviously now we're just awaiting the players to line up. As Peter said, I suspect that we're going to witness a team photograph very shortly. Now Peter, there's a couple of legends.
Yes, Kevin Murray, captain coach of this side for Fitzroy, and Des Tuddenham for Collingwood, doing their warm-ups and about to toss the coin.
Now there's two fellows that would have had some interesting clashes in their time in matches in bygone years when they played for their respective sides, and it's just fabulous to see. And of course, with Desi Tuddenham, of course, he has his son, who of course is a current player with the Magpies.
Yes, certainly. Of course, Kevin Murray played 350 games for Fitzroy from 1955 to 64. Then from 67 to 74, not only did he play for Fitzroy, he also represented Victoria on numerous occasions, played over in Perth for East Perth and also for Western Australia. And Des Tuddenham played 180 games for Collingwood, and then of course
switched to
Essendon, and didn't he have a run with South Melbourne at one stage?
Yes, he did too. Yes, he's actually played with well, it'll be 3 clubs altogether. And there's Kevin having a talk to Ian Robinson out there. I think it's fair to say Ian, I think, is probably one of the most popular of the umpires. If there's such a thing as a popular umpire, I think Ian is one of those guys that both has the respect of the players and I think has the respect of the football public as well.
Yes, he was known to communicate extremely well with the players, and maybe that's lacking these days in AFL football.
So there's some of the Collingwood boys having a bit of a chat amongst themselves and getting set for this game this afternoon. And we'll just await now for the official proceedings to get underway.
Yes, the players are moving over to the grandstand side. Micheal Poynton in screen there at the moment, looking rather fit too. Warwick Irwin.
Maybe perhaps it might be an opportunity, Peter, to just go through some of the names of the players, starting with Fitzroy, that will be featured today.
Yes, certainly. Of course, we mentioned Kevin Murray, played 350 games for Fitzroy. And he's calling over the players now. John Newnham. John played with the club from 64 to 1971, played 124 games. course,
We've got a few Guernsey swapping things on this afternoon, which is going to make it very interesting for these two commentators that you're listening to at the moment. But big smiles there we can see, and have a look at who's this fellow coming out here, this yeah, and also Mr. Leigh Carlson there. Now that's the strangest Guernsey I've ever seen.
Well, of course, he played for both Collingwood and Fitzroy, and that's the reason for that combined Guernsey of Fitzroy and Collingwood. And of course, coach Fitzroy under 19s also.
And also I noticed there that some of the training staff that would be familiar to dedicated Fitzroy supporters, and it's lovely to see them out there too. I think, Peter, often in football, when we're on the other side of the fence, we don't realise the terrific work that the training staff do. And I mean, these guys, they give their time to the club year after year, rain, hail or shine. And do you think really, Peter, it's fair to say that the trainers are often the unsung heroes?
I would think so, Peter, but particularly these days now with training four nights a week, certainly they give up their valuable time for their club, and certainly much appreciated at football clubs.
And I think perhaps looking at this Fitzroy side too, of course, Peter, a number of these players have taken the maroon, blue and gold onto the MCG. I'm thinking of this wonderful era that Fitzroy has enjoyed through the late 70s into the 80s. And I guess too, just still staying with the training staff for a moment, it must be immensely satisfying to the training staff to have seen Fitzroy play in those finals, because I guess it just gives the trainers that extra impetus of enthusiasm to know that, you know, their hard work in turn is being rewarded as well.
Well, certainly, Peter, there's a long time between drinks. Fitzroy, of course, made the finals in 1979, the first final appearance since 1960, so it certainly was an appropriate time for Fitzroy to make the finals in 1979 after all those years in the doldrums in the mid-60s, of course. Of course, involved with Fitzroy as a captain and as a coach.
And I can remember, as I'm sure a lot of people watching today will recall, of course, Kevin and playing out his final years when he made his return back to the Junction Oval. And I'm sure, Peter, you along with the thousands of other Fitzroy supporters will remember with a great deal of affection his final year. And I think that special presentation that was made to Kevin at the Junction Oval, and I seem to recollect that he was driven around in a car on the Junction Oval, and it was a very memorable occasion. So a great ornament to the game is Kevin, and at the risk of being a little biased about Fitzroy, Peter, I suppose it's fair to say that Kevin would have been one of the fairest players that ever donned a Guernsey.
A tremendous player, Kevin Murray, certainly one of the best players we've ever seen at the Fitzroy Football Club, post-war anyway.
And certainly a very worthy winner of the Brownlow medal.
In 1969, yes, when Kevin won the Brownlow medal, it was a tremendous joy for Fitzroy supporters.
Of course, with Brownlows, Peter, as we all know, Fitzroy is very well represented in the Brownlow medal stakes over the history of the game. We've had more than our fair share, of course, certainly with the great man himself, Hayden Bunton.
Yes, triple Brownlow medalist, and of course Denny Ryan and Bernie Quinlan, of course, our last Brownlow medalist.
We just saw on screen there, of course, Bill Stephen out there with the two captain coaches this afternoon. So it certainly promises to be a terrific afternoon of entertainment, and certainly for all those watching a trip down memory lane.
And we look forward to this match this afternoon, played over 4 quarters.
Okay, well, we're getting ready for the bounce of the ball now, Peter, and hostilities will be underway any moment now. I see Kevin Murray giving some of his players some instructions there, and our umpire out there just observing the situation and waiting for the players, I guess, to take up their positions.
Yes, Norm Brown in the centre of the ground. And there's Harvey Merigan on screen at the present time. He'll line up at full back. So we're not far away for the commencement of the Battle of the Legends.
Okay, we're just about ready for the bounce of the ball. Ian Robbo just about to hold the pigskin aloft, and the combat will begin. Right, and here we go with the bounce of the ball, and the game is underway. Big Normie Brown there. Fitzroy's got the ball. John Murphy kicking down towards the half-forward line.
This is McMahon with the ball down towards the forward line, and the first score of the match is about to come up. No, it's gone over the line and out of bounds, and a throw to take place. Fitzroy in the first quarter kicking down to the grandstand into the ground, and the throw about to take place. Looks like super boots going up here. Collingwood able to clear the ball out to the half-back flank on the members' side of the ground as the ball comes around to the wing, and a good mark there to John Murphy. Misdirected short pass, picked up by Colin Hobbs. There's the kick down to the forward zone, but Collingwood are too strong in defence. This is Herrod with the ball, the kick down towards the forward zone. And again, the Magpies are on top of the early stage of the first quarter in defence, and there's the kick down towards the centre wing of the ground. Magpies movement around, close to the boundary line. There's Colin with one of his rare handballs out to Kevin Murray. Centre of the ground, bit of a push, umpires calls play on. Warwick Irwin, hand pass. There's Parish. And the Lions bring the ball around to the wing, but the Magpies are there in defence once again. Kick towards the centre of the ground. Mark to Garry Wilson, I feel. No, it's going the other way. So it's a Collingwood mark in the centre of the ground, down towards the centre half forward. There's Ross Thornton, who coached Paran last year. Magpies into attack. This could be a goal. It's a goal for the Magpies, and the Magpies lead 1 goal straight. And the Lions yet to score. Right, the ball back in the centre. Umpire Robinson. Up they go, Norm Brown, the knockout. That's Allan Thompson, I would think. Yes, the left foot kick down towards, doesn't travel very far, and here come the Magpies. Down towards the centre half forward. And there's a mark, and number 9, he doesn't appear in the book, makes it pretty awkward for us. It could be another goal for Collingwood. It's a right through the middle, and another one for the Magpies. So good start to Collingwood. They lead 2 goals straight. Fitzroy yet to score.
We'll need to see a bit of a resurgence from the Lions here, won't we, Peter? We need to see an answering goal to the Magpies 4-8.
I'm disappointed with the start of Fitzroy, really. They look to be fitter, but they've got it down their forward line a couple of occasions, but Collingwood have been solid in defence. Let's see what happens now. There's the bounce. Collingwood from behind. There's the flea. Garry Wilson taps it out. Still in control as the ball comes down towards Bernie Quinlan. And there's a free kick here. And it's going Fitzroy's way down towards the centre half forward. Plenty of Magpies there. Should be able to clear the ball. This is Manasseh. John Murphy. Down towards the forward zone, David McMahon is held. A left foot kick towards goal. It may be through. The crowd behind the goals like it, and it's 4 points for Fitzroy. So Collingwood lead 2 goals straight. Fitzroy 1 goal.
Well, there it is. There's the hit out, and Fitzroy clear the ball out of the centre, down to the centre half forward position, but it's repulsed in the Magpie defence line, and Collingwood kick out back towards the centre, retaining possession of the ball. Past the centre line down to centre half forward, but repulsed by the Lions. Now John Murphy going to set something up for us by the looks of it. That Collingwood defence very, very firm in repulsing Fitzroy, but here's another foray down into the forward pocket. It looks like a free kick to the Magpies.
Picked out a free kick here, and it's going Collingwood's way towards the 50-metre mark.
I think that's Mr. Manasseh that
I think it is. And a short pass, a series of handballs here. And here come Collingwood down towards their forward zone. Kevin Murray in defence. Kicks it off the ground. Plenty of Magpies. There's the kick for goal. And it could be through. There it is. It's a goal for Collingwood. And a high-scoring game in the early stages here. We've only been playing 7 minutes, and Collingwood's third major, 3 goals, Fitzroy 1.
Fair to say, Peter, that looking at the condition of the ground today, it's in such beautiful condition that now there's the score, of course, Collingwood 3-18 to Fitzroy 1-6, that there'll probably be a lot of goals kicked this afternoon given the dry, solid conditions out there.
I would think so. The quarters will be reduced, of course, to approximately 15 minutes, but to have 4 goals kicked in the first 7 or 8 minutes all goes well for a good game. There's the knockout. Could be a free kick here, too high. No, the umpire says holding the ball. And it'll go against Fitzroy. And Colin Hobbs lost that free kick. Down towards centre half forward. Kevin Murray punched the ball down, but in the strong hands there of Collingwood's, just can't quite pick up that player. It's down towards the centre half forward. Warwick Irwin with the ball. A quick kick to the centre of the ground. Up goes Superboot. Couldn't hold the mark. The Magpies are into attack again. A series of handballs. Oh, this looks dangerous. 45 metres out. There's the kick. But marked in defence by Ross Thornton. Ross Thornton, the kick to the halfback flank, and Allan Thompson. Left foot pass to the centre wing. Grant Lawrie. Good to see Grant playing for Fitzroy this afternoon. Out towards David McMahon. Another short pass to centre half forward, and Garry Wilson with the ball. And he finds, I think it's John Murphy. John Murphy too far out to kick from there. And there's, well, Garry Wilson, number 29. Now, only about 25 metres out from goal, directly in front. Here comes the flea. There's the kick. Waiting for the decision. Now, there's a penalty, Peter.
Yeah, now, I think obviously somebody's infringed by the looks of things, and it looks like umpire Ian Robinson's going to give the ball back to Garry for a second shot at goal. So let's hope we can take advantage of this free and put another major on the board for Fitzroy. There's Garry taking his kick now, and the umpire says a goal.
Right, could have been a 15-metre penalty there, but if we're going back to years of when those players played, particularly Kevin Murray, John Murphy, I don't think there was such a thing as a 50-metre penalty.
No, I think perhaps to say we're sort of going to see the laws of the game a little bit flexible for this afternoon's match.
Long stay for Fitzroy. Okay, so reply to Fitzroy. We certainly have a game on our hands here at Victoria Park. Battle of the Legends, and a good crowd in attendance too. Norm Brown to go up in the ruck for Fitzroy. John Murphy playing in the centre. That appears to be Max Richardson with the ball to centre half forward. Coming through is Serafini, or was it Ross Thornton? And the kick in the centre of the ground. Down towards centre half forward. Ross Thornton with the ball, but Collingwood about to come into attack, but the umpire's blown his whistle. And it's going Fitzroy's way. Ross Thornton will kick across the ground to the half-back flank. This found Les Parish with the ball. There's Les Parish, 2 bounces. And the kick towards the centre of the wing. And there's half line and half Magpie decides to kick down Fitzroy's end. And has found David McMahon.
I think, Peter, we're going to have some confusion with this mixed-up player this afternoon. We don't quite know what he's going to do.
Showing his true colours there, passing to McMahon. There's the kick, dropping short and over the line and out of bounds. David McMahon, of course, played 215 games for Fitzroy from 1973 to 1983. It's on the club committee, of course.
And certainly, Peter, a player that in some of our very tight matches, particularly some of those memorable finals games that Macca played in, was always able to add that steadying influence to the games, wasn't he?
Certainly. Here's a chance for Fitzroy. The kick towards goal. It looks good. It's a goal. And there's another to Fitzroy. Yes, David McMahon, of course, was recruited from Preston. I think his earlier days at the club, they played him on the half-forward flank, and then later on in his career settled down on the half-back flank and represented Victoria. And but I think in the early initial stages he was recruited to play it on the half-forward flank.
And as you say, Peter, it's great to have David back at the club in an official capacity, being a board member.
Certainly. Make the scores level, Peter, as the ball comes back to the centre of the ground. Here come the Magpies down towards the centre half forward position. They're looking dangerous, the Magpies. Player showing fitness there, the little stab pass towards the forward zone. Could be a free kick. The umpire says play on, picked up by Manasseh. Manasseh, the kick down towards the forward zone, but 2 lines there. Well, the half line is going the other way this time. No, he's not. And this is Leigh Carlson with the ball. He didn't know which way to go there, whether to put it through for Collingwood or to clear the ball for Fitzroy. And he's done the wise thing. Out towards John Murphy. Murphy with the ball to centre wing. And there's Warwick Irwin looking very fit. The kick down towards the forward zone and marked by Superboot. Now, can he kick this one, Peter? He's about 40 metres out, but right on the bound.
Well, he used to always specialise in those banana kicks, a pass master at the difficult shots, although he's short passing by the looks of it. And it's been marked for Fitzroy by Serafini, Renato Serafini. And Renato attempting to put it through for a major, and he's done just that, another goal to Fitzroy. Well, Peter, certainly with the conditions as we've already remarked earlier today, the beautiful, fine, sunny conditions are certainly allowing for free scoring by both sides.
Certainly, the standard is quite high, and we're certainly enjoying this football match, the Battle of Legends at Victoria Park. There's Leigh Carlson with his Collingwood stripes and the half Fitzroy Guernseys. Umpire Ian Robertson comes in to bounce the ball again. Allan Thompson quick to boot the ball. Doesn't go very far. The Magpies bring it around the member side of the ground. A little bit of bother there. Eludes his opponent. A left foot kick down towards the boundary line. It's gone over the line and out of bounds in front of our broadcasting position.
I must say, Peter, too, some of this handball is beautiful to watch. It's the fellas really haven't lost that skill, have they?
No, it's still there. There's Serafini with the ball. Down towards John Murphy, who's playing well at the moment. A long handball. Bernie Quinlan with the ball. And a long kick down towards the forward zone. And I think it's gone over the line and out of bounds. That's Serafini. Renato there with the ball. He's playing on the forward line and his brother in defence.
There's Mickey Conlan, the tank himself, the human tank, kicking it back into the forward pocket region. And Renato turning around. And I think he's, this time though, scored a minor behind.
Right. Checking the scores. Fitzroy 4 goals, 1, 25. Collingwood 3 goals straight, 18.
It looks like, Peter, that we're in for a pretty tight match this afternoon.
I think so. Entertaining first quarter. And it's quarter time here at Victoria Park in the Battle of the Legends.
Right, now umpire Robinson puts the ball down to begin the second quarter in the Fitzroy Collingwood Legends match, and nice slick handball out of the centre going to David McMahon with another handball, and David McMahon trying to gain possession of the ball. What's he going to do? Handball over to John Murphy, who in turn hand passes again to that man again, that Collingwood Lion Magpie. And it looks like we've scored a goal. Another one to Fitzroy, which makes it a nice even contest this afternoon. And Peter, as we've already remarked, a good crowd too has turned up this afternoon, which is great. And I think it's been a wonderful thing for the club to see the terrific support from Fitzroy supporters, and indeed the football public in general have got right behind Fitzroy's survival campaign.
Yes, pro-Fitzroy crowd here, no doubt about that, but Collingwood are up in numbers here too. As there's the ball from the centre of the ground, here's a chance for the Magpies through Britt, a player going back a few years ago. The kick down towards the centre half forward zone, and here the Magpies with the ball down towards the forward pocket, and it looks like a Collingwood mark running into an open goal, but I think he's missed. In fact, he's kicked it out on the full, and out on the full from only 10 or 20 metres out from goal. There's Parish will kick in. Decides to bounce. There's the kick down towards the half-back flank. Up they go. A few changes made in this quarter from the interchange bench. And here come the Magpies again. This is, I think that was Oborne actually with the ball down towards the forward zone, and it's bounced through for a behind. Fitzroy lead in the early stages the second quarter. And here's one of the best fullbacks in the competition. Harvey Merigan, the half-back flank. That's Grimley, I think, with the ball.
It looks very much like him. It certainly does.
Magpies into attack again. On the outer side of the ground, Laurie Hill. There's the kick down towards the forward zone. Not a bad kick at all. It's gone through the middle, I believe. It is. It's a goal for Collingwood. So we certainly have an interesting contest here at Victoria Park. Bounces. Collingwood have the numbers. There's the kick down towards the half-forward flank. The chase is on. And well done there by Les Parish. Can't control the ball at this stage. And the Magpies pour with the ball, intercepted by Fitzroy, and Gary Wilson with the ball down towards the half-forward flank, looking for Bernie Quinlan. But coming through is Mackenzie for Collingwood, down towards the half-back flank. Oh, he missed that one. That was Laurie Hill. John Murphy with the ball to lead Carlson. Umpire calls play on there, and it's in the centre of the ground. Magpies move the ball forward into attack. The dummy, the kick down towards the forward zone, kick for goal, and it's through for one behind. Here's a chance for Fitzroy now. Warwick Irwin with the ball to super boot, runs into an open goal and puts it right through the middle, and there's another major for Fitzroy as we check the score. And Fitzroy move on to 6 goals, 1. Accurate kicking, Peter. 6 goals, 1, 37. Collingwood 4-2, 26.
It's certainly nice to have Bernie Quinlan back out on the ground playing for us again now, wouldn't it, Peter?
Yes, playing quite well and looking extremely fit. Bernie played with the club from 1978 through to 86 and 189 games.
Now Ian Robinson putting the ball down, and the knockout's going to go Collingwood's way by the looks of it, but it's been intercepted by Fitzroy. But Collingwood have retained control again and kicking back towards the wing. And there's a tackle on a Collingwood player, but now we got Collingwood or Fitzroy here. Is that man again, Mr. Half and Half? And mark to Collingwood. Now, short pass to Collingwood. Going down towards the forward position. And looks like a Magpie score coming up again here. Was it touched or was it a goal? No. A goal kicked by Collingwood. Righto, now the ball's coming back into the centre to recommence play, and umpire Ian Robinson will bounce the ball to get the action moving again for us. In this Legends match today, the Fitzroy Legends playing the Collingwood Legends here at Victoria Park. Okay, now here we go with more of the action. The ball hitting the turf and up it goes. Normie Brown and a Fitzroy possession. And the ball now being moved by Fitzroy, but it looks like there's a decision to ball it up, or is it going to go Collingwood's way? No, it's to Collingwood. So they go into attack, kick down the ground into the pocket, but a nice mark there by the maestro himself, Harvey Merigan. Allan Thompson there, knocking the ball on, a nice handball coming over. Now, here's that man again. Now, it looks like he's kicking for Fitzroy this time. Leigh Carlson and Bernie Superboot. Ball knocked out of his possession. Back to Collingwood, but here's an intercept again. All very tight there. And a decision being made with the ball being awarded by umpire Robinson to Collingwood. A Collingwood free. Now down towards the wing. But nice intercept there by Laurie Serafini, but it's back in the possession of Collingwood again as they go into attack out on the flank. There's Brent Grimley there by the looks of it. Rossi Thornton handballing to Grant Lawrie, still in Fitzroy's possession.
now the umpire's picked out a free kick here. It'll go Collingwood's way. Doug Gott. See the free kick to Shaw. And a good mark there too. Collingwood mark. No, the umpire didn't pay it. There's Shaw again. It's the Magpies attack down towards the centre half forward zone, and it's a Collingwood mark. At centre half forward. There's Parish on the mark. Short pass. Well done by Murnane actually. It was in defence. Grimley's there for Fitzroy too, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds. So it's in the forward pocket for Collingwood, grandstand side. Throw in. Free kick there to Fitzroy and Serafini to Parish. There's Colin. Will take a bounce, no doubt about that. And a long hand pass to Lawrie, to Conlan, to half line and half Magpie, Carlson. And a good passage of play. There's Garry Wilson with the kick, right down to the forward zone, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds. Hit the behind post. So a boundary throw in here. And a chance for Fitzroy. Up they go. Bernie Quinlan, the knockout. Almost got boot to ball. The Magpies in defence, down towards the halfback flank. Picked up by David McMahon. Not a bad kick by David, right up in the goal square. And it's punched through for behind. And 1 point. So a high standard, entertaining game here at Victoria Park. As the Magpies bring it around the grandstand side of the ground. Chain of hand passes. And a short pass down towards the wing. And this is, I don't think that's Jenkins with the ball, wearing number 14. Certainly not Jerker Jenkins.
I think we might say at this stage that these commentators are being confused nicely this afternoon with a few Guernsey swapping exercises on.
Certainly, it's a fun afternoon here at Victoria Park, particularly with the Lions controlling the match at the present time. It's out towards the wing. O'Born, a short pass. Here's a chance for Collingwood. The kick down towards the forward zone. Murnane coming through. Taps it down to Thompson. Left foot pass to the centre of the ground. Here come the Magpies again. The centre half forward. A couple of loose men around here. Ross Thornton with the ball. Taps it down. Thompson again to Murnane. And there's the kick by Murnane down to centre half forward. No one home for Fitzroy. And Collingwood clear through Clifton to the half-back flank. It's going close to the boundary line. Laurie Hill, I think that is, with the ball. Down towards the wing. And the Magpies come into attack. Well done by Fitzroy. It was Colin. Murnane in play again. Down towards the half-forward flank. And it's a Fitzroy mark to Quinlan. To Garry Wilson. What a combination. Here's a chance for a Fitzroy goal. A hand pass. And running into an open goal is number 7 for Fitzroy, and that's Peter Francis. And there's a goal for Fitzroy, and an entertaining game here at Victoria Park, Peter.
Certainly is, and as we've already remarked a few times, Peter, the skill levels are quite amazing, really, because a lot of these guys, you know, it's been quite some time now, a few summers and winters have passed since they've played, and yet the skill level in the handballing area and beautiful kicking into position, it just goes to show that you can't keep a professional down, Peter.
That's true, Peter. There's the bounce at the centre of the ground. Quinlan appears to be on the ball now, and the Lions are looking good. Colin with the ball. Now what's happened? The umpire's picked out a free kick, and the ball will come back to the centre of the ground. Don't know what that was for. And the kick down towards the centre wing. Here come the Magpies once again. But a good Fitzroy mark in defence, and that's Les Parish with the ball. A hand pass, and Fitzroy move the ball around to the wing. Umpires calls play on. There's Francis, played with 3 or 4 clubs. There's half line and half magpie. Carlson with the ball to half forward, and a good mark to Poynton. Poynton could be able to kick this left foot kick. It's about 40 metres out. There's the left foot kick by Poynton. It's going to go close. I think it's a goal. Wait for the decision. It's a bullseye, and Fitzroy lead here at Victoria Park. Parish for Thompson. And there's a left foot pass down towards the half forward flank. Poynton to Francis. And Fitzroy with a chance with Colin into the goal square. Picked up by McMahon, gets it around his right boot, and there's another for Fitzroy. They're doing it well at the moment, Fitzroy. And they have every reason to smile at the stage.
And of course now, after that last kick, it's half time in this Legends match this afternoon. The boys going off the ground to have a well-earned break. And the umpire holding the ball up, ready to start the third quarter in this Legends match this afternoon here at Victoria Park with Fitzroy versus Collingwood today. Now, Norm Brown attempting to get the tap out, but it's in the possession of the Collingwood ruckman. And the ball now intercepted by Leigh Murnane, who's pushing it forward towards Fitzroy's goal square. But Collingwood's backman has picked it up and has taken the ball over the line. And it looks like there's going to be a throw in here, or is it a free kick? We'll just try and pick up now what's happening here. There's a throw in. taken out of the air by the Collingwood player. But no, the umpires bring play back. Somebody looks like they've lost their boot as well. And the ball is going to be awarded to Fitzroy or Collingwood. Let's see now. No, Fitzroy. A Fitzroy player minus his boot. Nice big kick. Nice 50, 60 metre kick. Bit of pressure on here. A Fitzroy goal coming up perhaps. John Murphy on the bottom of the pack. It's going to be awarded to Collingwood, relieving the pressure in the Collingwood back line. Nice kick out there, booming kick, but a beautiful mark to none other than Garry Wilson, the flea himself. He'll put Fitzroy back into attack. Phil Murnane getting his boot to the ball. But there's plenty of Magpies here to relieve some of the pressure and try and get the ball up, but intercepted by Norm Brown. There's Murph. And almost a goal coming up here, but being touched through for a minor score. So plenty of attacking being done by Fitzroy in this third quarter. And it looks as if this game's going to go right to the wire this afternoon. In possession of Collingwood right now, kicking towards the centre. Almost a mark to Les Parish, knocked on to Rossi Thornton. And the umpire is awarding a free kick to Collingwood as it's kicked down into the Collingwood forward line. But some Fitzroy players there backing each other up, and there's a familiar face in Laurie Serafini, Sarah, kicking out there. But it looks like Collingwood will get away with it. A little bit of dummying there, and a nice mark to Collingwood. Thompson marking the ball. Now, plenty of Fitzroy players here who can relieve the pressure and get something happening for us on the forward line. Rossi Thornton is going to kick us into attack, but it's intercepted by Phil Murnane for Collingwood. Everyone missed the flight of the ball then. Collingwood still pushing forward. A lovely interception by Salt Parish. There's Salt Parish. Across to Leigh Murnane. Now Fitzroy with a run of the ball here, and something can be set up here with a little bit of luck. And Bernie Superboot. And this could be a sausage roll. Wait for the umpire, and yes it is, another goal to the Lions.
Back in the centre, and the goal of the day there, kicked by Superboot, holding the ball, and it must go Fitzroy's way. Umpire says play on, and there's Herrod with the ball as the Lions attack once again down towards the full forward zone and marked in defence by the Magpies. The kick out towards the flank. O'Bourne finds a teammate up the field, a hand pass, and another. 4 hand passes in a row here, and there's the kick into the goal square, tapped by Harvey Merigan, but I think it may be a mark. Could be a Collingwood mark there. Couldn't quite get his hands to the ball there, Harvey. And a Collingwood mark, only 10 metres out. Coming in, it's a goal. So an interesting contest here at Victoria Park. Let's check the score. Fitzroy 10-4, 64, lead Collingwood 6-2. So a handy lead to the Lions. The ball comes back to the centre to Robinson, the man in white. Plenty of seagulls here too. And a good crowd in attendance. Norm Brown for Fitzroy, wearing number 45 Guernsey. But Collingwood win the duel in the centre. And here come the Magpies again, down towards the centre half forward zone. It's a Collingwood mark. Certainly not Jenkin. They've changed the numbers around here. Swap Guernseys, and there's the kick. And a good mark there by Harvey Merigan to Colin. And there's the kick by Mick down towards the half-back flank. And there's a free kick will go Collingwood's way. Kick to centre half forward, no one home for the Magpies. And it's all Fitzroy. And the ball comes through towards the half-back flank, closer to the wing. Kick to kick at the moment. Both defences are on top. Oh, there's a good piece of play by Collingwood. And Shaw passes. The mark to Clifton. So it's centre half forward. In fact, only 35 metres out, directly in front. Dropping short. And it could be a mark, I think. It's been paid by the umpire, grimly, to Thornton. Parish taps it down to Murphy. Leads his opponent. Back to Parish. And Parish with the ball to Colin. Gets his kick down towards the half-forward flank. Super boot with the ball once again. What will he do with it this time? He plays on, he takes 2 bounces, he's in trouble. And the umpire, unfortunately for Bernie, plenty of activity here at Victoria Park. It's going against Bernie here on this occasion, holding the ball. And Collingwood will clear. Down towards the wing, misdirected kick. And Herrod with the ball for the Lions. To centre half forward, looking for Thompson. There's the dangerous Colin. Colin with the ball to the forward zone. Bernie Quinlan, here's a chance for super boot again. But Collingwood have the numbers. There's a bounce. See, I was just about to say, I don't think we've seen a ball up today. Bottom of the pack. It's a Collingwood player. John Newnham on for Fitzroy. There's the tap out, Allan Thompson. Serafini couldn't get boot to ball. So Magpies clear. Oborn towards the wing. Close to the boundary line, and the Magpies keep it in play. And here come Collingwood once again. A hand pass puts his play under a bit of pressure. And there's the kick, but misdirected kick, and Harvey Merigan marks at fullback. Kick to Colin on the loose. And the kick to the halfback flank. And the Lions bring it forward. John Murphy to Gary Wilson. To Herrod Newnham. They've hurt himself there too. Here's Collingwood and Manasseh with the ball. And there's the kick down towards the centre half forward zone. And a juggling mark, not paid. And Parish comes through to the half-back flank. As Fitzroy move the ball around to the centre wing position, close to the boundary line, they keep it in play. Short pass to centre half forward. Here's a chance. The dangerous Conlan. And the kick down towards the forward zone. And a mark here. And a goal coming up to Serafini. Poynton to Serafini. And it's through for full points.
Now the ball with Irwin for Fitzroy, and he's lining up the big sticks. And the umpire says a minor scorer behind there for Fitzroy. Certainly plenty of goals being kicked this afternoon. There's Bernie Quinlan looking fit and as if he could step back into the Fitzroy Senior 20 tomorrow. The ball coming out, Collingwood mark coming up but knocked away. Norm Brown in possession of the ball. In turn over to Leigh Murnane, who screws a kick over his shoulder, and in turn marked by John Murphy. Two number 5s out there this afternoon, and Jay Murphy and, of course, the one and only super boot, Bernie Quinlan. Now, Fitzroy trying to get the ball out. Allan Thompson over to Micheal Poynton. And Michael's a bit undecided as whether he's going to play on or not, and he's going to get caught if he doesn't get rid of that ball quickly, which he does. Over to Allan Thompson, who screws over his shoulder. And again, touch through for a minor. Another behind to Fitzroy. Now Fitzroy mounting another attack, and a lovely interception there. Big high kick by John Murphy. Super boot trying for a mark, but not able to do so. And unfortunately, Gary Wilson kicked out on the full, so it'll result in a Collingwood free kick out of the Collingwood back line. Now back into play. Mickey Conlan across towards the Fitzroy goal line, but again, unfortunately, kicking astray, and a resultant free kick again to the Magpies to clear the ball. And they're bringing it round the flank. Collingwood still in possession of the ball. Now, can they get the ball over the centre line? A couple of Collingwood players running at the ball. Handball. Right to the centre position. Now it looks as if, now there's that man again. Is he playing for Fitzroy or is he playing for Collingwood? Looks like he's playing for Collingwood at the moment. Leigh Carlson. And the ball up into the forward pocket area. Now Collingwood desperate to try and get a score on the board against rampaging Fitzroy. Now will something result from this for the Magpies? He just got a kick in the nick of time. And it looks like Fitzroy, per medium of Grant Lawrie, clearing the ball beautifully from the back line down to Laurie Serafini, who kicks further forward to the centre. Now Leigh Carlson, it looked like. Now John Murphy can get something moving here for Fitzroy if he so wishes. And he's passing across to none other than the flea. Irwin there, but Collingwood starting to intercept. Now the umpire has decided that he'll pay a free to Collingwood, who immediately play on per medium of Phil Manasseh. Kicking down a nice big penetrating kick and a lovely mark to Collingwood, with an opportunity for them now to get a major on the score. But he's passed it, and it looks as if Collingwood are going to lose the ball, and Fitzroy may intercept, but through come Collingwood once again. A handball, and here goes now something that could be set up for them. And a major perhaps on the way, but no. A minor score behind to Collingwood. Now just checking that score, and we see a change there with Fitzroy on 11 to 6. 11 plays 6, and this is the third quarter of the Fitzroy Collingwood Legends match this afternoon. Now Fitzroy going forward again. And is there going to be a mark paid? There's not, so Leigh Murnane gets on with it. And across to the tank, Mick Conlan. And a nice pass there, but unfortunately intercepted by Collingwood, who kick it back towards the centre. Plenty of Magpies there. And they can do something with it, being called on. Now, again, Collingwood intercept, keep possession of the ball, mounting an attack here. But a lovely intercept by Fitzroy. Handball from Laurie Serafini. Fitzroy again moving forward. Now can they do something here? Nearly a mark to Superboot. In fact, Superboot's, and he's handballed on. Now, Mickey Conlan. Can he kill kick one of those magnificent goals that he was so accustomed to doing so, and in fact, he kicked it behind. Now, three-quarter time coming up with the score 11-7-73 to 6-3-39. There it is, the three-quarter time break in the Fitzroy Collingwood Legends match.
Right, there's the bounce for the commencement of the last quarter here at Victoria Park. Battle of the Legends 2, Fitzroy, Collingwood. As Fitzroy go into attack down towards the half-forward zone, and Carlson with the ball takes a bounce. And a kick to Garry Wilson, who dropped a sitter. But here's Murnane coming in. Kick to goal, looks good. It's through for 4 points for Fitzroy, and that's a good start. So Fitzroy off to a flying start in the last term. There's the bounce. Murphy with the ball. A quick kick to Garry Wilson, to Murnane. Here come the Lions again, down towards the full forward zone, and it's a marquee to Poynton. Poynton, a left foot kick. A short pass into the goal square, unintended, was Superboot himself. And Bernie Quinlan, 15 metres out, directly in front. Quinlan should put this right through the middle. Comes in. There's the kick. It's another goal to Fitzroy. Their second goal in 2 minutes. So Fitzroy well on top at this stage, Peter.
Yes, it looks as if the Roys might run out comfortable winners in this Legends match the way it's going, but who knows? Football's a funny game, and well, the Magpies have got the chance perhaps to try and peg back the Lions' score, but certainly at the risk of being a little biased with the Roys' play in the third quarter particularly, they certainly had most of the ball in that third quarter. So we'll just see how the boys go. I'm sure that the boys on both sides are going to give it their all as the ball is put down by the umpire, and this time it is Superboot himself who gets a handball out, looking to try and break the play up a bit to get the ball moving towards Fitzroy's forward line, but Collingwood intercept. Bernie Quinlan kick it off the ground, but in the possession of Collingwood, who now start to mount a forward thrust. And a nice mark to Collingwood too. And they'll be looking to try and get that ball quickly down into the forward pocket. And there it goes, punched away by the Fitzroy defence. But Collingwood intercept and a snap, and it results in a minor, a behind to Collingwood in this, the last quarter of the Fitzroy Collingwood's Legends game. And we certainly trust you've enjoyed all the action, watching all the great former champions of yesteryear putting on a fine exhibition this afternoon. Now there's Laurie Serafini kicking out, and there he is, Bernie Quinlan at the wing, looking for a Fitzroy player who's got a little bit of time to recover. Now there's that man again. Is he playing for Fitzroy at the moment? Looks like he is. John Murphy kicking across, looking for Garry Wilson, and found him. Now Gary's going to take a shot at goal, or is he going to pass? Yes, a short pass in, looking for and finding Mickey Conlan, who's about 35 metres, 40 metres out from goal. And he's going to chance his hand to see if he can drill it through the centre to put Fitzroy in a pretty comfortable position if he gets this major. And wait for the umpire's decision, and it's a point. It hits the post, so a minor score to Fitzroy on this occasion, but nonetheless the Lions enjoying currently a very comfortable lead in this game. And we certainly trust you're enjoying all the action. A beautiful sunny day here at Victoria Park. Ball misses all players, but possession of Fitzroy, but Bernie Quinlan contesting with several Magpies, and the umpire letting it go. An awkward bounce for the Collingwood player, but he recovers, eludes Leigh Carlson, across to another Collingwood teammate, who in turn kicks the ball forward. A nice mark to Collingwood, steadying mark. Now forward thrust once again, finds another Collingwood player. Now this could be something as they start to work it forward, the Magpies, but no mark paid to Fitzroy. Now it looks as if it's going to be cleared by the Lions, which it is. An opportunity now for Fitzroy to turn defence back into attack. He goes to the tank himself with handballs over his shoulder. Fitzroy moving it nicely forward. There he is, the man himself, Superboot, who unloads a beautiful kick, but a minor score on this occasion.
There's the kicking into the half-back flank, and a Collingwood mark. Plays on. The handball as the Magpies move the ball forward. And a good Collingwood mark too. Umpire didn't play it. There's Mickey Conlan with the ball now. The kick down towards the centre wing. Hand pass by Richardson, intercepted by Warwick. Irwin forced to the ground. Play goes on. Magpies trailing at this stage. But here's a chance. They bring the ball forward to centre half forward, and there's Kevin Murray. Kevin Murray takes a good mark in defence at centre half back. There's the kick to the centre wing. Magpies into attack. Down towards the forward pocket, Social Club side of the ground. There's Shaw, close to goal. I think it's just one behind. No, it's over the line and out of bounds. So a throw-in to take place. There's Des Tubman on screen at the moment. Here's a Collingwood goal coming up. Oh no, intercepted by Harvey Merigan. Well done. Shaw for Collingwood picks up. Not a bad snap, but over the line and through for one behind. So Fitzroy with a comfortable lead midway through the final term of play in the Battle of Legends. Harvey Merigan. Chip pass to Irwin, to Serafini. The kick to the centre of the ground. And here come the Magpies. Bring the ball forward to the outer half forward flank, but Murnane, who's played well today, to Grant Lawrie. Ross Thornton, intercepted by the Magpies. And the ball's in the centre of the ground. Now here's a chance for Collingwood. The kick down towards the forward zone. Picked up by Oborne, and it's a goal for Collingwood.
Now, after that last major scored by Collingwood, the boundary umpire is returning the ball to the centre for the resumption of play. Ian Robinson, our central umpire, now with possession of the ball, ready to bounce it down to recommence play in this, the final quarter of what's proved to be a most entertaining game this afternoon. We certainly trust you're enjoying the action. There it is, the bounce down, the tap out, going to Leigh Murnane, who's certainly had a lot of possessions in this last quarter particularly, but nice mark by Collingwood. Collingwood player looking to run on and draw a player, which he's done again, and he'll have to get rid of it quickly, which he's about to do. The pass is on to the centre of the ground. Now, can Collingwood make something of this foray? Yes, there's could be another goal coming up here. Whoops. Good pressure on here, right in the front of the Collingwood goal. Now, what's the umpire decided to do? He's going to bounce it up right in the Collingwood goal square. There's Kevin Murray right in there. Ball taken out of the air by a Collingwood player. Stacks on the mill. There's going to be a bounce up here. My ball, says Ian Robinson. And he'll bounce the ball again to break up play and get it moving once again. And there he is, the coach and captain himself, Kevin Murray for Fitzroy. Now once again, the ball's cleared via Mickey Conlan, bringing the ball into the centre of the ground. And there's Superboot with that customary run. John Murphy takes possession and he handballs across to Michael Poynton, who in turn handballs back to John Murphy, who nice little chip into Mickey Conlan, who in turn looks for another Fitzroy teammate and has found none other than David McMahon. Whoa! Now, I think there's going to be a penalty awarded here as the Collingwood player charged into David McMahon. So what's our man in white decide? Yes, he's going to pay it, and we're going to have a 50-metre penalty here. I don't know whether it's going to be a 50-metre penalty, but it's certainly a free kick awarded to the Fitzroy player. So let's see if David McMahon can take advantage of the situation, and he kicks, and as a result, the umpire adjudicates that it's a major. Another goal to Fitzroy, kicked by David McMahon. Now the ball being brought back to the centre to recommence play once again. Certainly there'll be a few players here I'm sure will be a bit stiff and sore, but nonetheless would have enjoyed themselves thoroughly this afternoon, as everybody here at Victoria Park has today. Now the ball goes down to recommence play. Up it goes. The tap down, punched forward by Fitzroy. In turn, mounting a forward thrust. And nearly a mark to Michael Poynton, but not quite. Collingwood clear it. Short chip passes on here, out onto the wing. Collingwood retain possession of the ball now. They'll continue to do so. Short passes on, beautifully done. And to Collingwood, and it looks like they might get something going here, but not to be, because it's intercepted by Fitzroy. And the ball's going to be knocked on. Collingwood certainly not giving up in this game. They're giving it their all in the last quarter. Now the umpire decides that it'll be a throw-in. And there's Irwin. Warwick Irwin drives forward for Fitzroy, and beautifully marked by the flea, Garry Wilson. Now kicked away by the Collingwood defence. And there'll be a throw in the half-forward flank area. Fitzroy. Bernie Quinlan taking the ruck work on this occasion, which he used to do from time to time. Ball free for Collingwood if they can keep it in play, which they have. Handball across. Loose ball intercepted by Fitzroy. Taken by Fitzroy again. Leigh Murnane kicks forward. Bernie Quinlan with a chance to score for Fitzroy, and this time he manages a behind. Now Collingwood clearing the ball towards the centre, retaining possession of the ball with a little bit of slick hand passing there, but they've certainly got a deficit that they're looking at to try and pinch this game, which I don't think they're going to do at this stage, Peter.
I doubt it very much. I think Fitzroy should go to the line, quite convincing winners here this afternoon. There's the throw in, grimly from behind. Magpies into attack down towards the forward pocket. It's gone over the line and out of bounds. Throw-in to take place 25 metres out from the Collingwood goal. Fitzroy well on top. There's the throw in now. Chance for the Magpies. Close to the boundary line. There's a kick. But it's through for a minor score for Collingwood. Ross Thornton will kick in to the outer halfback flank. And a good Fitzroy mark 2 by Serafini to Irwin. Back to Serafini. And there's the kick. Out towards the wing, and marked here by Herrod. To the half-forward flank, Garry Wilson with the ball short of half-forward. Centres the ball to centre half-forward, looking for super boot, but marked by Carlson. Now, which way will he go? I'm not too sure what's happened here. It's going Collingwood's way. A Collingwood free. So there's the kick to centre half forward. Serafini again. A hand pass to Parish. And Fitzroy drive the ball forward to the centre wing. And a mark here by David McMahon. And there's the siren. That is the end of the game. Fitzroy victors at Victoria Park. We'll check the final scores in a moment. Players congratulating each other. Well umpired by Ian Robinson. The fans flock on to Victoria Park after a most entertaining battle. The Battle of the Legends too. And a good win to the Lions. Control the play really after quarter time. Increase the lead in the third quarter and once again in the fourth quarter. There's super boot, Bernie Quinlan. A tremendous goal in that third quarter on the boundary line on the half-forward flank. Would have to be the goal of the day. As the players come off the ground, reports of the Fitzroy supporters and Collingwood fans too. There's half line and half Magpie, Leigh Carlson. A few weary bodies, I'm sure, here at Victoria Park. Kevin Murray signing autographs as the players make their way off the ground. Bernie Quinlan still signing autographs and could be here for quite some time. Bernie, a veteran of 189 games, joined the club, of course, from Footscray in 1978 and retired at the end of season 1986. Brownlow medalist. And, of course, kicked the ton twice for Fitzroy, once against Collingwood, and that historic day at the Junction Oval in 1984. Ross Thornton in the screen now, signing an autograph football. Now back with the club. And the crowd milling around the players' race here at Victoria Park. Leigh Carlson still signing autographs. Half Lion, half Magpie today. And there's Kevin Murray, the warhorse himself, veteran of 350 games. Dawning fans surrounding Kevin as he signs autographs. And certainly a true lion is Kevin. It's been a tremendous afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you've enjoyed the Battle of the Legends 2 between Fitzroy and Collingwood. And victory to Fitzroy. And on behalf of Peter Van, Peter Mellon, wishing you all a very good afternoon.